Big Mouth Season 3 just dropped on Netflix today. It's not very often that I watch a Netflix show. I don't even watch a lot of shows. I mainly watch two Netflix shows, and that's Big Mouth and Fuller House. Why Big Mouth and Fuller House? Big Mouth really intrigued me with the first season. The first season trailer dropped, and I'm like, I need to see this. This is a show that I have to just see if it's up my alley, see what the style of humor is, if it's actually going to go this graphic with it. And it blew my mind how funny it was and how effed up it was. It was downright hilarious. You actually got to like the characters. And then season 2 came along. I got a bit scared. I was very, very scared because season 2 is usually where shows start to drop off a little bit. No, they've found their stride. They know their audience. They know the style of humor they're going to get. And they know the style of humor that they are going for. So when your audience likes this type of humor, do not change it. They didn't change it. They added more onto it. You also got some more relationships in there. This show is, wow. It is insane this season. Season 3. There's not really a big plot point with this show, really. The main plot point with this show is it's these, well, now multiple kids going throughout middle school or 7th grade, going into 8th grade at the end of this season, going to summer camp. And I think season 4 might be going into summer camp, and that's okay. Now, it's about these kids who are going through puberty. You see what's happening, and I mean, you see literally everything. If you cannot handle cartoon nudity, then you can not handle a show. This show, they're aiming to offend, and do they offend? Ooh, if you're a Buddy Holly fan, there's one joke in here that suggests that Duke Ellington took one important screw out of Buddy Holly's plane. And oh boy, they don't care who they offend. They have no boundaries. Netflix has not pulled any strings with this. They are balls deep into this show. How far and how confident are they in this show? Big Mouth has already been renewed for seasons 4, 5, and 6. And this was before season 3 even became a thing. So I think we're getting maybe 40 more episodes. I think we can see the show go on for a bit more because this is probably my favorite animated show going right now. Even though we only get it once a year, which is fine with me. What I wish Netflix would do is what they said they're going to start doing. And that's release them week by week. Now, to the review of the show. It's very funny. But season 3 has started to drop off a little bit. This is not a show that is based on the gross humor and the sex humor mainly anymore. It's mainly there to offend. And the last episode of season 3 really went bonkers. It went insane. And not in the good way. It went insane where it didn't make any sense. Now, I know I'm saying that, but with Big Mouth, is it supposed to make sense? To a point, yes. When your main plot point of a show is that, and you've done this much so far, and then you have Andrew go invisible anytime he passes gas, and Nick can go from a very small person to a huge giant and then right back down again. Somebody has telekinesis powers. And how they wrapped that up, I'm glad that wasn't in the actual, or how they ended the show. But how they ended the show is very interesting because if you're a fan of the show, you obviously care for the characters. You care for every single character. You care for them because you've sat through this much time with them. And the emotion in the last episode brought it back up a little bit. This was the weakest episode to me. But by no means is this a bad season. The first episode came out on Valentine's Day this year when they announced they just put out a Valentine's Day episode, so there was 11 episodes in the season. 10 of the 11 episodes were really, really good. The last episode went too bonkers for me, way too out there. Didn't make sense at all to have somebody do this. No spoilers, because people bitch and moan about spoilers. But Big Mouth is a solid season, a very solid series that I'm going to keep watching. And I'm looking forward to the next 3 seasons. Maybe we can make this the longest running Netflix show. As of right now, I believe it is the longest running Netflix series. Well, original series. I am not going to grade this because TV series, I'm just going to talk about them and what I thought about them. No grades, no nothing. I thought Big Mouth Season 3 was a very good season, but it's definitely the weakest season. It started to fall off right towards the end, and it went a little bit too bonkers. But I like the way they tied it all up and left you on a nice little cliffhanger at the same time. Tying up some of the loose ends, but also putting a little cliffhanger in there that has to do with a friendship. There's my review of Big Mouth Season 3, and I will see you guys for my next TV review.